I'm going to go over a dependent standard error problem. Here's a problem, and it says you are calculating the standard error for a dependent t-test. If these are the scores for a pre and post test, what would the standard error be? Round your answer to the second decimal place if needed. And then here at the bottom are the scores. And I'm going to show you how to do this problem in Excel because that's the easiest way to do it. Alright, so I copied and pasted the scores from the problem into Excel. Here they are, the pre and post test. This is a dependent t-test because the scores are paired. In this case, they're paired by person, and that means that one person took the test twice, and that's called a repeated measures design. So this is one person, and they took the pre-test and got a 2, and took the post-test and got a 4. And this is another pair for one person, another person. And then here's another person's scores. And when you do a dependent t-test, the scores have to be paired. In this case, it was by person, but it could be by having twins both take a test, or if you have siblings, or you have spouses, things like that. They have to be paired by some kind of factor. And when you do the dependent t-test, you are really doing a one sample t-test, but on the different scores. So you want to do it on the different scores. And to get the different scores, you just subtract the pairs of scores. So I'm gonna do this in Excel. And I'm gonna go right next to the first pair, and I'm gonna type equals, and then the first score for that person minus the second score for that person. And you want to click on the cells and not type in the actual numbers. And then press enter. So it's 2 minus 4 is -2. So I'll do that for you. Now here's another thing you can do. Click on that cell again, and then go to the bottom right and find that square there, and click there and hold down and pull down till you get to the end of the pairs of numbers. And now you have all the different scores for all the people. We had 3 people, so we have 3 different scores. And so 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Now all you have to do is do a one sample t-test basically, but on the different scores. And these you don't need to worry about anymore. And also another thing to note is if the pre-test is smaller than the post-test, then you get a negative number. The pre-test is bigger than the post-test, then you get a positive number, right? So a little number minus a big number, you get a negative number. Big number minus a small number, you get a positive number. So also keep that in mind, so you know when you find the mean, which test they usually did better on. And also when you're subtracting, you want to make sure you subtract in the same order that you put your hypothesis test in for. When you're calculating the standard error, it doesn't really matter as much. But when you are calculating the t-statistic, you want to be sure that you subtracted the same way as you wrote your hypothesis. So you might as well just do it for the standard error as well. Okay, so we got the different scores, and now I'm going to find the standard deviation, and I'm just going to have Excel do it for me. So you can do STDEV, and I'm going to use the kind of new formula, which is the .s, but you might have to just use the STDEV. I think that's what you have to use for Google Sheets or an old version of on the PC, maybe for the Mac, I'm not sure. So anyways, if the .s doesn't pop up, that means for the sample, and the P is for the population. But if that doesn't pop up, then you want to do the STDEV. It just depends on your version. Alright, then I'm going to open up parentheses and I'm going to highlight the 3 different scores and close the parentheses, press enter, and I got my standard deviation. Or you can do all the work by hand if you want to from the other phase. Then I'm going to enter the number of different scores. So we had 3 of them. Alright, now I can find the standard error. And what you can do is go equals, take the standard deviation, / for divide, then square root. So in Excel, you do SQRT, open the parentheses, and then do 3. So the standard error for a dependent t-test is the standard deviation of the difference scores divided by the square root of the n, which is the pair of numbers. The n is the pair of numbers in a dependent t-test. Then just push enter, and here's our standard error. And you can round that to 1.20 here. Another thing you could do, you don't even have to do this part if you don't want to. You can just do the data analysis Toolpak and go data, and move this over a little bit. So you're going to go data analysis, and then descriptive statistics. Press OK, and my input range is going to be the difference scores. And I highlighted the title, so I'm going to say labels in first row. And then I want to choose where I want to put it, so I'm going to put it here. There again, so I clicked here and then highlighted where I wanted to go. Then check summary statistics and press OK. And here we go. So here is a standard error. It already did it for me, and it gave me the standard deviation, gave me the count, which is the sample size. And voila, there you go. That's it. That's how you get the standard error.